Hello students, today's our topic is urine formation process. As we know, nephron is the structural and the functional unit of our excretory system. In the nephron, Bowman capsule, PCT, DCT, Henle's loop, etc. structures are found, and our kidney have 2 lakh nephrons in one kidney. The urine formation process is done in nephron. Every nephron is involved in that. This is the structure of a nephron, where the cup-shaped part is called as Bowman capsule. This is found in the cortex region of kidney. After this cup-shaped structure, the tubular tract is found. The earlier portion of that is a highly coiled structure and called as PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. Later on, that will open in a U-shaped structure which is Henle's loop present in medulla and again extend in the cortex region which is the tubular tract called as DCT. So from this structure you can analyze only the Henle's loop is found in the medulla region, rest are present in cortex. Now every part has a specific feature and function during urine formation. First I am telling about the blood supply going on in the Bowman capsule. Here blood is supplied by renal artery that forms a small passage which supply blood to every nephron. As it enters in Bowman capsule, it will form further branches and a small network, capillary network like structure here, which is termed as glomerulus. I am going to label every structure. This is renal artery that has maximum urea. This is the special point. Renal artery form a branch known as renal arteriole or afferent arteriole that supply blood to every Bowman capsule or every nephron. It get further branched when it insert in Bowman capsule and this branching is known as glomerulus. Now this glomerulus and Bowman capsule, these are commonly termed as Malpighian body or renal corpuscles. This is Malpighian body or renal corpuscle. Now one more point is here, afferent arteriole supply blood to Bowman capsule. It has a large diameter as compared to the next portion of this, which is known as efferent arteriole, which takes blood away from the nephron. This efferent arteriole again get further branched and form capillary network around every tube of Bowman capsule, whether it's PCT or DCT or Henle's. The PCT portion, proximal convoluted tubule. This is Henle's loop. And this is the DCT portion. So this afferent arteriole forms a network-like structure around every tubular tract that is related with blood supply in every body part along with secretion of harmful substances and reabsorption of various products found in the glomerulus. And at the last, this network open in a vein termed as renal vein. Now you can analyze with the help of blood supply all the collected waste from the various body organ that is dumped into Bowman capsule. Beside waste products, some beneficial products are also coming with it, and these beneficial products are reabsorbed whenever they pass through the tubular tract, and along with that, the more or the major excretory product, the larger excretory product are directly dumped into them. So urea or urine is formed here and that is discharged out through the collecting duct. Now the blood get purified or it get excretory waste free now, and that blood is collected by renal vein. That's why this one contains minimum urea. Now what are the steps of urine formation? I'm going to clear them. The first step of urine formation is ultrafiltration. That means it's a fine filtration which is done with the help of that glomerulus that inserted in the Bowman capsule. This is the Bowman capsule. First we exactly look what's going on here. As I told in my previous diagram to you that renal artery contain maximum urea that supply blood to kidney. It forms a branch known as afferent arteriole, and that arteriole forms fine capillary network in the Bowman capsule. And later on, a smaller diameter tubular tract arise known as efferent. So ultrafiltration is done in, first point regarding ultrafiltration, it's done in Bowman capsule, or you can write Malpighian body. This is also termed as renal corpuscles. Now blood is coming here in the glomerulus. As you can see, this one is a fine capillary network, so pressure is highly exceeded here, and just because of exceed pressure, this blood get filtered and the filter blood get collected in Bowman capsule. This is termed as glomerulus filtrate now. In this glomerulus filtrate, not only the excrete waste like urea, uric acid, excessive salt, water are present. Beside them, one more various beneficial product like glucose, amino acids, etc. are also which are actually required to the body. So this is the ultrafiltration, that is glomerulus filtrate. It's filtration of blood, so it is isotonic to blood. Exactly, you can say this one has all the content which are already available in blood except blood cells. So as soon as this is filtered, a specific kind of cells are also found in this Bowman capsule known as podocyte cells. These podocytes are highly permeable, so this glomerulus filtrate can move in the next tract. That means it can pass through this structure, and now it's moving towards the tubular tract through this cup-like structure. This is the ultrafiltration, which is only restricted in the first part of nephron, that is Malpighian body or renal corpuscles. Now the second step of urine formation is selective reabsorption, which is going on throughout the tubular tract of nephron. This one starts in PCT. In proximal convoluted tubule, first of all, 100% reabsorption of glucose is done from the glomerulus filtrate. As I am saying, it is selective reabsorption. That means first of all, body will select the substances as per the body requirement, and they are again absorbed in the body. So glucose, this is quite desirable to us, so it's 100% or it's completely reabsorbed in PCT. PCT is a tract where 80% reabsorption of water is also done. Along with that, a lot of salts, ions, various cation anions like sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, chloride, sulfate, carbonate, etc. are here. Because the maximum amount of water is reabsorbed here, that's why the glomerulus filtrate becomes. Now the next reabsorption is going on in the Henle's loop. This is the U-shaped loop which is formed by the ascending and descending arm. The first arm is descending arm. It is permeable to salts, not for water. So salts reabsorbed here. It's related with the reabsorption of ions, mainly sodium, potassium, calcium, chloride. And the ascending loop of Henle's arm is responsible to absorb water. So rest of the 20% rest of the 20% reabsorption of water. But exactly this is the amount of reabsorbed water. This 80% and 20%. Whatever water is coming inside the nephron, 90% part of that is reabsorbed. That means this is the 72% part of that, and rest of the 8% part is reabsorbed. Sorry, rest of the 18% part is reabsorbed. So 20% reabsorption of. Now whenever the substance move out of the Henle's loop, it become hypertonic. Now the next passage is DCT, where the third step of reabsorption is done. Actually, DCT is not only related with the reabsorption, but a little bit amount, or you can say a trace reabsorption of water is going on here. Water and salts. It's related with the trace reabsorption. So we can say here 0.1 to 1% reabsorption of water and ions are done. So now I am coming to the third step, urine formation. This third step is secretion. This is responsible to secrete large waste which are directly dumped into various tubular tract, whether it's PCT or DCT, but mainly this is done in DCT. So DCT is mainly related with the secretion process, where large waste they are directly discharged into through blood vessel, which is forming a network around DCT. After secretion, now the filtrate enters in collecting tubule. As it enters here, it is termed as urine. From the collecting tubule, now it's moving towards the collecting duct. Let me explain the whole process into diagram. So as I'm saying, first of all, isotonic structure or isotonic media is generated here. This is the part where blood is filtered and glomerulus filtrate is generated. This is moving towards the cup-shaped structure of Bowman capsule. From there, it's moving inside the PCT now. Now in the PCT, the complete reabsorption of glucose, this is mainly related with the glucose reabsorption, water, 80% water. It is also responsible for the reabsorption of salts. So this is the passage where maximum reabsorption is done. Now Henle's loop, this is the Henle's loop, this is the descending arm of Henle loop, and this is ascending arm. Descending arm is permeable for salts. Salts are reabsorbed here, ions and salts. While in the ascending one, water is reabsorbed. DCT is responsible for the absorption of water and salts, but this reabsorption is in a trace amount. While this peritubular network is responsible for direct secretion from this peritubular network, various substances like the larger waste, pipiuric acid, etc. are directly dumped. Pipiuric acid, creatinine, these are directly dumped into DCT. This is the secretion step. And as the urine enters in the collecting tubule, this is the last smaller passage. It is termed as urine. So are you getting me? This is the first step, where ultrafiltration is. The first step is ultrafiltration, in which blood is filtered from glomerulus filtrate to Bowman capsule. In this filtrate, this is completely isotonic to blood. From this filtrate, beneficial products like glucose, water, salts, ions, these are reabsorbed throughout the duct system, and some larger waste are directly dumped by secretion process in DCT. As the substances enters in collecting tubule, this is termed as urine, and now this one is moving towards the collecting duct, and after that it is discharged out by ureter. Thank you everyone.